morning to you, and I hope that you are doing well being a new week. And also on a Monday, welcome. This is Money Monday. It is your go-to show for financial tips, great insights and strategies on how you can become a great entrepreneur, and also for you as a person to become financially independent in the future. My name is Angela Kabete, and today, being on a Monday, on this edition, we're talking about something that is really interesting, a topic that I'm sure you are interested in. That is the smart risks versus the foolish risks when it comes to the world of entrepreneurship. These are the choices that define every entrepreneur. So you, as a day-to-day person, you desire to become an entrepreneur, please pay attention to this. And if you're an entrepreneur and you're watching us, you can interact with us and share with us what you'll take today. And we live in a world where risk is a part of everyday business and finance. And as you know, the difference between success and failure often lies in the decision that you make. Kwa hivyo wewe kibinafsi, as a business person, as a day-to-day person aspiring to have a business of your own, what are the things that you consider when you make the decisions, when you take those risks? What are the things that you consider? Because there are things that you're supposed to consider when it comes to the world of entrepreneurship. And according to statistics, the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, they say that nearly 3 out of 5 small businesses in Kenya fail within the first 3 years. I don't know why, but let's figure out. They say it's because of poor financial decisions and reckless risks are being a major cause. Also, I can see they're saying that 67% of entrepreneurs in Africa believe that taking calculated risks is necessary for growth. Calculated risks, not just waking up in the morning and decide leo ninauza kila kitu, leo ninafanya hivi. They're saying that 67% believe that taking calculated risk leads to growth, but only 38% actually have risk management strategies in place. So let's start by asking you as a person, you as a business person, do you have risk management strategies? You aspire to have that business, let's say you have a business plan, you want to implement it. Do you have the risk management strategies? Because this is something that you're supposed to consider. In addition to that, they say, this is a report, they say that entrepreneurs who take calculated risk are 40% more likely to scale their businesses successfully compared to those who take random or emotional risk. So I believe today we're going to learn when it comes to decision making, when it comes to the world of business. Are you supposed to combine business and emotions? Leo nina feel hivi, kesho nina feel hivi. Let's learn that today. And I'm joining in studio with an amazing guest. He's full of experience. He's been in the world of entrepreneurship for 10 years. Oh, we call quite the world of entrepreneurship for many years. Well, let me introduce him. His name is Fenwick Maloba. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
You're doing great.
I'm doing great.
We are honored that you have created time to be here today.
Thank you again. It's a pleasure to always be here and share a few things that we know in the world of business.
Please tell our viewers, when it comes to the world of entrepreneurship, what do you do as a person?
I'm a business coach. I'm a trainer and a coach. I train people in entrepreneurship, financial literacy, money management, and anything concerning financial literacy and business.
Okay.
Yes.
And as I've said, you told me you've been in 10 years in the world of entrepreneurship.
Sure.
Why haven't you failed? Why are you still standing?
Because entrepreneurship, as you mentioned earlier, involves making very many different decisions, and every step is a learning step. Not that individually I haven't failed. I have failed, but I chose not to remain on the ground. So you make a decision. Many times you make a decision, you don't get the results that you wanted, but you wake up, you dust yourself, and now you've learned a lesson. The good thing about failing is that it teaches you a lesson. The person who invented the light,
Yeah.
he tried 1,000 times And so on the 1,000th time is the time that he was able to make it. Now, from the first attempt to 999, it showed him one thing: the 999 steps of not doing it. And so even in the field of entrepreneurship, the moment you do something consecutively for a number of times, you learn how not to do it. For example, if you've constantly been investing in a particular asset and it doesn't give you money, you are much wiser than someone who hasn't invested. Why? Because you've learned how not to do it.
Wow, I love that. So people should not have this fear of not trying it when it comes to entrepreneurship. If a baby fails down when they try walking and they don't wake up to try again, they'll never learn how to walk. Yes. Before we dive into the topic itself, for the 10 years, did you stick to one business, or you have tried many businesses?
No. I've sold rice.
Okay.
I've sold rice, and the funny thing, like, about risk and research, I started selling rice without doing research. And so I brought rice, I stocked rice, then I started selling. People didn't buy.
Why? Because that's what people take.
Pressure from, like, you believe like so and so is selling rice, so if I also sell rice, I should make profit. And now when rubber meets the road, customers are not buying from you. You don't know the strategy that the other person was using to sell their rice. So I sold rice, it didn't work, so I had to stock that rice and eat that rice for like 6 months, because it was like over 300 kilograms.
Goodness, okay.
And so I learned a lesson, like lesson 1, don't start a business without having due diligence on the ground. Then I ventured into another one, concrete. You've seen these precasts, precast where you pre-made concrete stuffs, the one that are used for pavement.
Yeah.
And so I also did that. I did that for 6 months. It didn't work, and so I put it aside. And so over and over time, I learned how not to do this, how not to do this, until, like, naturally being a teacher, it was very easy for me to gravitate towards training, because that's something like a more or less inborn. It's more or less inborn. So it was very easy for me to now transition from things that I've been trying to do that are not aligned to things that I easily do without struggling.
Wow, I love that. That is interesting. And now let's dive into our topic here, Leo. That is the smart risk versus the foolish risk. And generally, these are the choices that define every entrepreneur. When we mention the term risk, the word risk, what does it mean when it comes to the world of entrepreneurship?
It essentially means that businesses and entrepreneurship are not guaranteed. The actions and steps that you take are not 100% guaranteed. Like, today in the morning the sun will rise, that's a guarantee. In the evening the sun will set, that's a guarantee. Businesses are not meant to be that way, but implying that you are likely to fail. The chances of you succeeding or not succeeding are like 50-50.
In every business?
In 99% of businesses.
Okay.
Yes, every business, every venture that you venture in is a risk. So it's up to you to buffer yourself against that risk by having risk management strategies, risk management mechanisms to enable you not to fail once you start.
Okay, and help us understand when it comes to that part here, risk management.
Sure.
What are the things that you're supposed to consider before you venture into that risk?
Market research. You are supposed to do due diligence in the market research. One of the risk aversion mechanisms is doing a due diligence in the market research. Before you venture into a clothing business, before you venture into a cereal selling business, like, you have to know what does your customer consume, what drives their purchasing ability, so that by the time you're starting a shop to sell the cloth or to sell the cereals, you have a rough idea, not a rough idea, you have a very good idea on where your customer will come from, what is their budget, what do they want, how does it look like, their consumption ability, how does it look like, so that you stock something that will be used by your audience. You don't end up stocking something that like when you are in a place like Nakuru, like where I come from, for example, people rarely eat a particular type of food. Like, for example, rice isn't consumed on a very large scale as compared to ugali. So when you start a shop of selling rice there, you're most likely not to succeed as compared to someone who will start the other business. And so it's very essential that the very first step is you do due diligence in the market research. Yes.
Is there anything else apart from the market research?
You have to understand your buyer, basically your buyer psychology. And I'm not going to psychology too much, but you have to understand the buyer cycles. Like for attire, for ladies' attire, when do they buy, what do they buy, and why do they buy? If you live in a place where 90% of the ladies who come from that particular place are corporate ladies, they work in corporate institutions, they work in banks, they work in insurance companies. So you know what they wear. You know at what time do they buy, what period of the month do they purchase more. And so once you understand that, then in January, in the last quarter of January, you can stock, because you know that at this time of the month they have been paid. At the other quarter again, you'll stock. So if you understand the cycle of your business, it will be very easy for you to just to gel in and know what time am I bringing the stock, what time am I not bringing the stock, what time am I bringing in different types of stocks. Yes. So
basically what I'm getting from you is as a business person, you're supposed to also understand that is the buying patterns of your customers.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's great. And now let me ask on the same matters to do with risk, because what wakisikia risk in their mind, it always sounds negative. When it comes to entrepreneurship, what differentiates between a smart risk and a foolish risk?
A smart risk is one that has been researched and well validated, and you research, you validate, and then you also have a buffer. Like I'll talk about that. You research, and you validate. That's a smart risk. And I'll give an example. You want to start an international school, for example. I'm an educator, so I know the business behind schools. You want to start an international school. Where are you putting it? If you take it to a town like Mandera, for example, it might not do so well. But if you take it to a town like Nakuru, so many big schools are coming up in Nakuru, because Nakuru was recently given the charter to be a city. It shows that very high-end people, politicians, people in the corporate world will come to live in Nakuru. And so the smart risks are one that have been researched and well validated. Not so smart risks, on the other hand, are decisions that are made on intuition. You feel like I should start a business because my friend has started a business, or you feel like I should start a business because person A, B, and C have gotten a lot of profit in that particular business. So you end up starting the same business, not knowing that there have been 10, 20 years, 30 years in that particular business. Yes. And
is it okay to reason that because I've seen business A succeeding, having this mentality, if I also start the same business, mine can succeed? Is it okay?
Unless you've researched and you've proven your idea, you've qualified your idea, it's not a smart move. Yes, because you can have a shop. I can have a shop with you here, and we are in the same locality. I sell 90% of my stuff my merchandise to people in Nairobi and people in Eldoret, probably because of the online platform. You only sell to the population in Nakuru. So we share the population in Nakuru, me and you, but I sell more of my product in Nairobi and Eldoret. At the end of the day, I will make more profit as compared to you. So the fact that you see me making profit doesn't actually mean that you will just enter and also make profit. You don't know the steps that I've taken. You don't know the journey that has taken me to be where I am at this particular time. Yes.
You mentioned intention, and now let me ask, when it comes to entrepreneurship, is it okay to make decision based on your emotions? Because many people were saying, leo na feel kufanya hivi, kesho na feel kufanya hivi. Is it okay? Is it advisable?
Emotions are not to be trusted. When it comes to entrepreneurship, when it comes to personal finance, emotions are not to be trusted, because the things that control our emotions are things that are beyond our physical control. Business decisions should be made on data, should be made on statistics, should be made based on the trend, what is happening in the country. You saw a couple before the elections, people were not buying land. Before the 2022 elections, people were not buying land because they thought that elections might turn out not to be good and people might be displaced. And so real estate companies, people who sell property, were not selling property like for the whole of between 2021 and 2022, the time of elections. Why? Because of that particular trend, that particular time in our country. And so you have to have those data, the facts at the tips of your fingertips before now you venture into any business decision.
And now let me ask you at a personal level, at 10 years of experience in entrepreneurship, was there any time you made decision based on your emotions, and what were the outcomes? Like
my decision to start a concrete precast business was purely an emotional decision. Ask me why. Why? One of my friends, not a friend per se, but I met someone and then I got to know them, and they're doing exemplary well in this town. And probably you've seen them, you've met them, you've seen their products in town. And so during our conversation, he told me this business does well. And they were having contracts with the government, they were having contracts with the county government, with hospitals, with schools. And so it was giving them big money. And so they told me, this is something that you can also start on a small scale. And so now that is emotion. I didn't know that the time investment that I taken them to be there, the financial investment that I taken them to be there, the resources that they had, the team that they had. So I plunged in and everything went haywire. And so many a times, many people will start businesses based on emotions, and it never ends well. Sure. Okay, that is something that our viewers should take home. Take note of that. Emotions are not to be trusted when it comes to the world of entrepreneurship. And now let's look to the young people, a young entrepreneur. How can a young entrepreneur know whether a risk is worth taking? Now, for a young entrepreneur, you have to begin. For them, it's very different from, like when you're talking about young, maybe you're talking about people who are 16, 17, 18, in other countries abroad, US, UK, Canada, children as young as 15, 16, 17, they're already starting, they're already venturing into businesses. Now, it's very easy for you to do that at that time because you can fail and wake up and fail and wake up so many times. But as compared to someone who, a grown-up, for example, and you are investing a lot of money in a venture that you have a very good research. So for the young population, for the young generation, my advice is always, when an idea comes, as long as it doesn't involve a lot of financial risk, do it. Why? When you keep doing that, you learn so many different ways of not doing it, such that by the time you get hold of something that functions, you have learned not how to do it, and you have a proven way to do it and actually succeeding. So try different things. You're thinking about graphic design. There are so many free tools that can help you. You're thinking about starting supplying something, like there's a way that you can always start without having to involve a lot of financial risks from the beginning. Doing it so many times will show you how not to do it. By the time you pivot and settle on one idea, you'll be so good and you'll be able to run it well.
Okay, I think the young people, one thing that is a limitation to them is that fear of failing.
Sure.
Probably that could be the reason, but the young people maybe start, do it, try many things. That's where we can say they get to learn.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so we are going for a short break, and still we are on the process of exploring this interesting topic, that is the smart risk versus the foolish risk, and these are the choices that define every entrepreneur. And what we have been told in this first segment, before you venture into any risk as a person, as a business person or entrepreneur, make sure number one, you do research and also be strategic. We are going for a short break, but I'll be so glad if you get to interact with me, that is on our social media handles, that is on Facebook and YouTube at Mizpah Tv Kenya, hashtag. You can use the WhatsApp number, that is 0799200100. Tell me, what have you learned? What is that one thing that you feel this week you're going to apply it practically in your business? Stay tuned. We'll be right back after the short break. And welcome back. This is Money Money, your go-to show for financial wisdom and business insights, so that you can become a great entrepreneur and also financially independent in the future. In case you're tuning in right now, today we are diving into an amazing topic, an amazing conversation, that is the smart risks versus the foolish risk. These are the decisions that define every entrepreneur when it comes to the world of business. And in the first segment, our guest has helped us understand what do we mean by this term risk, and also he's helped us understand on how you can identify smart risks when it comes to the world of entrepreneurship. And make sure that before you venture into any risk when it comes to entrepreneurship, make sure that number one, you're strategic. Number two, make sure that you get to do market research. Without further ado, help me welcome our guest back to the show. Welcome back.
Thank you, Angela.
And thank you for being here in the first and in the second section, and also for sharing the great insights with us in the first session. And in the first session, you have helped us understand that is the risks, and also on how you can identify the smart risks. And in this section, we're going to venture into that is spotting the foolish risks. And on this way, I bring this question: what are the warnings that a financial move that a business person or an entrepreneur is making is reckless?
I think the first one that is very vivid that will speak to you is if you start burning cash, you using, and it's either in business or even on personal finance basis.
Okay.
Like in business, you are burning cash. The amount of money you are using to run the business and pay staff and sourcing for the goods is much more as compared to what you are bringing in. And so like that is always the first signal that the move that you made is not good. You bring in goods worth 100,000. You are paying staff on a monthly basis maybe 200,000. You're paying rent, and so at the end of the month you are using probably 500,000. When you are bringing in maybe 100,000 or so. So the moment your expenses are much higher as compared to what the business is giving you, then you know that whatever you are doing, you need to probably scale down, or you need to look at some decisions that you made and relook into them again. So burning cash is one of the very first signs that the move that you made wasn't a very good move.
Wow, I love that. When you say that you need to scale up, would you elaborate that more?
When you need to scale down, basically means you are paying 10 employees. Each employee you are paying them maybe 20,000, and the amount of input that they're bringing in is not equivalent to what you are paying. And you used to, if you use 200,000 to pay employees in 1 month, and they are bringing in maybe a half of that or even a quarter of that, then you know that you have to look into your employees and potentially scale down, like do away with 5, remain with 5 that you can manage. Then the roles of those who are leaving, redistribute them among these. You realize that you might end up having the same sales, but you've cut down on the cost. Yes.
And now on what you are explaining to us, what are the things that as a day-to-day person who wants to venture into the world of entrepreneurship or to venture into any risk, you're supposed to consider in making these financial decisions?
Cash flow should, when you're already running the business, cash flow will be a very good indicator, and it will dictate to you what you should be doing. How much money is coming in from sources A, B, and C, and how much money is going out to cover for particular costs. So the moment the money that goes out is much more than the money is coming in, your cash flow won't be balanced, and so it's time for you to look at your books again. It's time for you to look at the decisions that you are making. Yes.
So talking about the books, there are many businesses that they don't do bookkeeping. Should they start doing that? Should every business be keeping records?
You have to be keeping records even when you are running a kiosk, because books are records, and these records are the one that will communicate to you on the future of your business. What happened yesterday, what's happening today, and what will happen in the future. Books will dictate to you that sometimes last year we made a particular mistake, and this time we should revise whatever we made, so that in future we don't have the same challenges that we made. Bookkeeping is very essential, and my advice is that if you are not doing bookkeeping, if you are not keeping records, if you are not tracking each and every cent in your business, and also personally, like on individual basis, financially, it will come a time that you can't fathom, you can't know where your money went and where your money is being spent, and that's the very first step that will lead you to a failed business or a failed personal finance plan. Yes.
And let me ask you a question at a personal level, and also at a level of being an entrepreneur. Have you ever got yourself in a situation whereby, and I want you to tell me if that is wise, whereby unachukua pesa za biashara, unaweka kwa mfuko, unasema let me spend this money because I have an emergency, then nitarudisha baadaye. Is that wise?
There's a saying that says don't steal from your business, and that is not wise. And because the first thing that if you're running a business, the first thing that you should always do is to separate your business account from your personal account, so that you don't have access to the business money each and every time that you want that. That's a mistake that personally I did in so many of my initial businesses. But you keep planning, and with time you realize that that is not the good move. Either number one, your business will not grow, or number two, you'll always be in these cycles. You get business money, you're using it on personal needs. Now when it comes a time that you have to expand your business or to grow it, you don't have the money to do so, because you've used business money for your personal need. What you need to do on the other hand is that just get paid. Be as an employee. Even if you are the founder, be paid. Dictate
as an employee?
Yes, yes. Dictate that a certain portion of the money will be my salary. That way, it will enable you to allocate some money for you, and at the same time leave some money for the business for purposes of growth, expansion, and service provision. Yes.
Well, I love that. That is wise. And now, still in the world of finance, let's talk about that is the role of timing and preparation when it comes to entrepreneurship and money as well. How important is timing when taking financial risks, especially on notice to do with investments?
When it comes to timing, I think when it comes to investment, for example, and the same will apply to businesses, timing is everything. And let me talk, for example, about the Bitcoin, just as an example, to bring the point home. When the Bitcoin was launched, a couple of, I think 2010 to 2013, I don't remember the exact dates, the price of a Bitcoin was so low.
Yeah.
It has grown significantly to like 1,000 and something percent up to its price now. And so the few people who had the intuition to invest at that particular time, they are the ones who will potentially harvest the benefits of doing the same. Look at land. Let's bring the point home. Our town has been made to be a city. Before it was made to be a city, before it was accredited to be a city, the price of plots could be, depending on the particular location, they were low. But the moment it was given the mandate to be a city, those prices automatically started shooting up. That is land, that is property. And so even when you go to stocks and bonds, the same. There are times that Kakuzi shares will shoot. There are times that those shares will go down. Investments in the bank. So each and everything is about timing. So it calls for you, the investor, to discern. You need to have the knowledge and the wisdom to discern, like what time is right for me to do this particular investment. If you're investing in land, what time is ideal for me to do so? If you're investing in real estate or houses, what time is ideal for me to do that? So timing is everything when it comes to investment issues.
And when it comes to businesses, what detects or what determines the right time to, that is, diversify?
When it comes to business, like for you to have a running business, a profitable business, people must be buying from you. Like customers are the very first people that will make you stay in business. So the very first essential thing is identifying the buying cycles, and it also revolves around time. You have to understand, like, what time do let me plug in an example. There are shops that sell school uniform, and they sell books, and they sell all other things that are involved in the school setup. In December and in January, they are doing so well. If you go to that shop, you get a line from here all the way, 100 meters line. Now, you can't have the same volume of people in April. You can't have it in March. You can't have it in August. Why? Because people are always buying during a particular set of time. So when you want to venture into that business, for example, then you have to know what is the right time to do it. If you want to start a school, for example, parents are always looking for a new school in October, November, partly part of December. By 20th of December, parents have already made up their mind that their children are going to this school. So if you were observant, then you realize that schools will normally start advertising in October, November, and part of December, because that's the time that parents make the decision on where the children will go to school. So it calls for that awareness in your mind as a business person to know, like, the business that I'm venturing in, what are the high seasons, what are the low seasons, what are the times that customers come in, what are the times that customers go out, so that you can restock well, you can bring in more employees, you can increase the profit margin, because at the end of the day, customers will still come. So that timing is very important for any business if you want to start and scale up.
And let's talk about on this the businesses that are affected by the timings and the season.
Sure.
Let's say, let me use the same example that you have used. Mtu mwenye ana deal na mambo ya school uniforms. In times ya December's, that time in between your holidays, they don't sell.
Sure.
So what should they do? Diversify to something else, atoke kwa uniform aende kwa kitu ingine, or what would you advise or recommend?
When you're in a particular business, you can't diversify but still in the same niche. You can't diversify but still in the same niche. What I'm trying to say that now, because you're selling clothes, now you can't bring in cereal or you can't bring in cement. Like now, it calls for your wisdom, you understanding the industry and asking yourself, if I've been selling uniform and parents have been buying, and probably I've been doing that in Nakuru, would it be a wise move to go to outskirts, like to go to places like around the main town where you are? And I want to give you the example of Equity Bank. Okay? When Equity Bank started, for you to have a bank account, prior to that, you needed to be someone who was probably a millionaire. You needed to have a lot of money. But now Equity thought and said, there are these small farmers, there are these mamambogas, people who are selling sokoni, people who are selling maize. These people have got a lot of money in them, but no one is in there to give them opportunity to bank. So it ventured in. So you might be selling in a particular town, same products, but another town just a few kilometers away from you will also benefit from your services. So now you can take whatever you are selling in that particular town and also probably open a branch, or probably have a sales and a marketing team go to another town and market your products or services, so that now come January when people will be buying, those people don't have to travel all the way from probably Gilgil to Nakuru or Mailikumi to Nakuru, but your products and services can be delivered to them in their particular locality. So you don't necessarily bring in other commodities, but think of diversifying, think of having some branches in other places, so that come January you maximize. When you are doing 1,000 sales per day, you can do 1,005. And realize that you might be using the same employees, you are using the same resources, but your income will potentially rise high.
And can a good business fail only because it was pursued at the wrong time? Is that possible?
Can a business fail? Yes, very many businesses have failed because because a time came when they didn't understand the times in which they were in. And I'll share with you a very good example. The Nokia phone. Nokia, 10 years ago, it was one of the best mobile phone brands. But over time, when other phones were evolving, when other phones were venturing into the market, improving their products and making the user interface better, Nokia didn't evolve. That's why they were faced off. A couple of years ago, there was Motorola. Motorola was one of the renowned mobile phones when we were growing up. Right now, they are no longer in the market. Like, they are starting to make comeback slowly. But look at Samsung. Samsung has consistently been there. It has evolved. It's making its products better. So times are changing very fast. Like currently in the world of artificial intelligence, so many things are happening. So when a business is not able to discern the times and improve, you will likely be phased out.
Okay. For our viewers, I believe that you are learning a lot, and we're so glad to hear from you. Get to share with me, what have you learned? What are you taking in right now? And you feel, as a business person, I feel I should start applying all this one thing practically in my business. I'd be so glad to hear from you. That is on 0799 200 100. That is the WhatsApp number. And still, pale kwa mtandao, that is on Facebook and YouTube at Mizpah TV Kenya. Hashtag ni Money Monday. And then let's talk about that is on risk management strategies. Do you think mentorship and partnerships play a role in helping risk management?
Mentorship, actually, like mentorship is one of the core strategies that you need to make use of, because like when you talk about a mentor, we're talking about someone who has the knowledge, someone who has been in the path which you are in. Look at it, for example, if you're able to get mentorship from the founder of Tithe, as far as banking is concerned, this is someone who understands the landscape of the business. The wamekuwa hapo, they've been there, they know the lows, they know the highs, they know how to penetrate the market. So I actually call it knowledge and mentorship, because when you're being mentored, you are getting the knowledge. So mentorship and knowledge is very key. It's a very key component. They say that you can't live long enough to learn by all your mistakes, because one of the mistakes will definitely kill you. So mentorship is key and is crucial for when it comes to risk avertment and prevention.
Oh, that's sagacious. And because of time, as we wind up, let's talk about those people who have failed when it comes to entrepreneurship. There's that one person who alianza biashara akafika mahali, made a decision, and it led to the end of that business. And failure is part of entrepreneurship, as you said before. Then how do one recover after from a bad financial decision?
Understanding why you failed. So they say if you choose, like everyone will fail or everyone has ever failed, but if you decide to remain down, now you'll be defined by the word failure. So it's important to identify that, like, why did you fail, at what particular point in time, what made you not to progress. So identifying that will help you understand one better way of doing something differently, something that made you to fail. And it's why we've talked about knowledge and mentorship. Like just having the knowledge and the know-how of why did my business fail, it is very important, because it will basically show you that I took this route, but at this particular junction is where I started getting it wrong, and therefore you learn how to do it differently by taking another route all the way.
Wow, I love that. I believe that viewers, you have learned a lot. Because of time is up. In a few words, what mindset shift is needed to bounce back after losses? In a few words.
Understanding that a failure in any business is a statistics. It's just a data point. Like failure is, when it comes to business and personal finance and financial literacy, failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is a data point on the path of success. It gives you points that now I did ABCD and they were not right, so I should do it differently. Yes, so if you perceive it to be the opposite of success, then now at that point is why now you say, no, I can't do this because I've failed instead of succeeding. But if you treat it as data point, just as a statistics, it will give you a very different perspective. Look at the people who have succeeded. Jeff Bezos, Amazon, Zuckerberg, and even Tesla guy, Elon Musk. Before you see Tesla, it failed a number of times. The batteries were not functioning. Investors were not coming in for a very long period of time. But these people, they didn't let that time define the direction their business was taking. Yes, so treat any failure as a data point and as statistics to show you what you should not be doing.
Okay, because time is up, in a few seconds, please share your number. Those who are interested in being coached when it comes to entrepreneurship, watakutafuta. You can always get us on 0729 602 575 or Fenwick Cyril on all the handles, and then we shall take you through your business. Thank you. Thank you so much for availing yourself for the show. We, together with our viewers, we have really learned a lot. Thank you. And we're looking forward to having you more and more in the show.
Thank
And
you.
for our viewers, as we have heard, every entrepreneur faces risk, but the real game changer is knowing which one to take and which one to avoid. Do you know that as entrepreneur, wewe unataka kuingia kwa biashara? Do you know that? And also make sure that kama umetune in right now, go back on our YouTube channel, that is at Mizpah TV Kenya. Get to watch what we have talked about, because the conversation that we have had today is really transformative and a game changer when it comes to the world of entrepreneurship. Thank you so much for tuning in for Money Monday. It is your go-to show for financial tips and insights. And again, we also give you strategies on how you can become a great entrepreneur. And also, apart from being a great entrepreneur, become financially independent in the future. My name is Angela Kabete. Till next time, may God bless you.